Hello and welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining us and coming along for the adventure of fall lawn care. So, as you saw in one of the last couple of videos here, we got tree taken down, stump ground up and everything. So we got to get that kind of cleaned up and taken care of a bit, but also kind of hard to see, but this is where two of the stumps fell. So we got to fill that in with some soil and stuff, but there's a much bigger picture here. So, a lot of people, when I ran my lawn care and landscaping business, asked about what do we do for fescue? What do we do for grass that stays green year round? And how do we maintain it during the fall and winter months? Because typically if it's not growing, you think we don't have to do anything. Well, that is not true. So leaves, sticks, all this junk, debris, whatever, you got to keep that clear, because what is going to start happening if you've done a good job of seeding and fertilization is you're going to start to see new growth like that come back and start to fill in. So we got a lot of grass seed that we put down probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago or so, and you can start to see it kind of fill in. It's the really kind of faint in between, right? And it looks like this close up, and that's a mature blade obviously there. But anyway, that's the purpose more or less of the seed, right, is to fill in all the areas. So we got to deal with that a little bit, and then we are preparing this backyard with fescue to be aerated here at the end of this month in October. So aeration, for those of you that are not familiar, is the process of going through with an aerator, and you basically are punching holes in the turf or in the dirt, hollow tine. So imagine a little like post hole digger, tiny little post hole digger, 3/4 inch, maybe 1 inch tines, go down into the ground, poke a hole 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches, depending on how firm your soil is back here, and pull that dirt out and then leave it on the turf. So you pull one, comes up, pull another one, comes up, pull another one, and what's happening is it's feeding it out the top of the tine because it's hollow and just leaving it back on the turf. But what that's doing is that's allowing oxygen, water, seed, fertilizer, whatever you're doing, whatever your goal is, it's putting it down in the actual root zone. Of course, you want to water and fertilize and everything already, but by getting it down into the root zone, you're actually building a new layer of roots, which is actually better than just throwing seed down. If you've ever tried to just throw seed down on like concrete, eventually it'll work its way to the lower spots wherever the water sits, and it will actually germinate. I'm really good at growing grass on rocks and sand because you've got overspray, seed goes everywhere, and eventually it migrates and finds its way to the lowest point where water typically sits, and then it stays moist, and that's the ideal scenario for growing grass. So anyway, you want to first cut low. You want to cut almost as low as your mower will go to work out any imperfections in the soil levels. So if you've got high rises and low valleys, your mower is going to start to scalp in certain places. What you can do, where you've got still green, you can fill that in with some more soil, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, somewhere in there with just topsoil would be fine, to try to level it off or smooth it out a little bit in preparation for the aeration. Again, it's just going to smooth the surface. The second thing is you want to keep leaves, sticks, debris, all that type of stuff, like I said earlier, off of the turf, because any shade, any moisture that's held by that stuff is actually going to start to create mold, fungus, and create actually more issues for you. So you want to keep the lawn as clear as possible. You can blow the leaves, you can mulch the leaves in. Once you've seeded and germinated, 21 days later or so, you can actually then go to mow it. Normally we say about 3 inches or so is when you want to start mowing it. This grass should be mowed at about 3.5 inches, give or take. But of course it's starting to build and get thicker, so 3 inches is actually plenty. All right, so different day here. It's been 2 weeks, something like that. So let me flip you around here and show you where we are. So basically this is the stump that we ground up, and you can see I'm leveling that off a little bit back there. Still not quite as level as you'd like it to be, but at the same time, I also filled in, there was like a little hole here. So earlier in this video, I mentioned take some topsoil, dirt, whatever. This was all really green. Now, obviously it's all really green right now, but this was really green because the mower just was too high. It wasn't cutting down. And so you got one wheel that goes down and it doesn't really cut nice and evenly, but it took some of that mix over there, that dirt, and kind of mixed it in here, so it's a little more level. I did water this morning, so obviously we got some, you know, some moisture being held here, but again, just build this up until it stops puddling and it continues to run off. These sprinklers back here are running for like 15 minutes at a time. So not, you know, not like the torrential downpour that we had a couple weeks ago, where there was like 7 inches of rain in a 7-minute period, whatever it was. But anyway, that's the idea there. And so again, even in here, still not quite as level as we'd like it to be. And you can see where my track marks from mowing the other day were, but getting closer. And so you can see that we got a little more there to remove to kind of level that off, because we want this all one level surface. And I even, over near the patio here, spread some more of this dirt just to, again, level it off. We hold a lot of water in here, so that's why I put some more soil down. So anyway, they'll be aerating next Monday, so we'll make that part 2 of this series. And as you can see, leaves already, I mean, I cut this yesterday, already leaves falling. So, but that's the nature of this beast in fall lawn care, unfortunately. So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming back. If you have any questions, by the way, about like fall lawn care, what type of grass you have or whatever, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Matt_LaMarsh, LaMarsh, and I'll take a look at it for you and be happy to help out in whatever way I can. But also make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. This will be part 1 or part 2, because there's not really much to talk about. I think it is kind of cool to see the process though of aeration if you've never seen it before. So we'll show you that, spreading the grass seed, spreading of the fertilizer, watering, so on and so forth. Because this is what makes your lawn beautiful, is now for spring. So there you go. Thanks again. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
This ain't on the man, facts bro, lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo.